one big box of yarn because it's time to start a new Graphgan. Somehow it's been like 6 months since I last made a Graphgan, which is just way too long. I've already got my design drawn out. I think I might even have the chart done already. I don't remember. This yarn arrived about a month ago and I haven't opened it yet. I don't 100% remember what colours I got. I know I've got some blues, some yellows, maybe like some pinky reddish colours. Right, yes, lots of blues, lots of blues. We've got this nice dark blue, and then we've got a sort of a lighter pale blue, and this is Brava worsted from We Crochet. We've got the bright yellows, a little bit brighter than I thought they were going to be. What else have we got? We've got white, lots of white. Ah, yeah, here we go. Here's the pinkish reddish colours I was talking about. 2 different ones, dark and light, and I think, oh no, there is one more colour. Hang on, hang on. We also have a very light blue as well. All right, so that's all of the colors. Now I'm gonna see if I do have a chart. I'm fairly certain I did already make the chart. I do already have a chart, just like I thought I did, which is great because I really didn't want to spend any time making a new chart. It's been 6 months. I just want to get to crocheting. Oh no. Oh, don't you hate it when you can't get the center pull? I used to always print off my charts and use my chart keeper to keep track of where I am, but recently I've been using my iPad because Stitch Fiddle actually has a row tracker built into it, and I find it really helpful just being able to like zoom in on the picture as well. So I'm going to get started with my foundation row, and you might be saying, but wait, you haven't done a gauge swatch, and I know, I always talk about how important that is, but I have used this yarn before. I used it in my Turtle Tides throw, and so I'm just using the same hook size, so I know what my gauge is going to be. But you should do a gauge swatch. I can't remember if I'm doing single crochet or half double crochet. Oh no. Maybe I will have to do a gauge swatch. I think it must be single crochet. Yeah, single crochet. So I'm just getting started with my foundation single crochet. Don't remember how many stitches I need to do actually. 162. This might take a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'll catch up with you at the end of the row because I don't want to lose count. And 62. It should be 162. I better double check. Tell you what, it's a good job I went back and counted because I had one too many stitches. I can't tell you how many times I have got like 10 rows in and then realized that the color changes aren't happening in the places that they should be, and I've realized I've got too many stitches or not enough stitches. So always go back and count. I've not even got into using multiple colors and I'm already tangled. It's not a good sign. So I've got 7 rows of just doing this blue color. I like to start my patterns off with a few rows of one color because it just makes things a bit easier. I think it's a bit fiddly working lots of color changes into the first few rows, especially when it's like quite a big project. So whilst I'm working on a nice easy section of the pattern, I'll tell you a bit about this design. If you've been following me for a while, you might know that I actually started out designing amigurumi before I realized how cool Graphgans are. And one of the amigurumi designs that I made was of a Greyhound, and I just decided to share it in a Greyhound group on Reddit. Just, you know, I thought maybe there were Greyhound owners that would like to crochet their own Greyhound. And that post just kind of went crazy. I had lots of people saying, can I order one from you? Not the pattern, but the actual finished product, and will you make it look like my Greyhound? And I was like, sure, that sounds like fun. And so I started getting all these orders for custom Greyhounds. So yeah, I've made hundreds. I dread to think how many Greyhounds I've made over the last few years. So many. In fact, I've actually got one here, which I finished yesterday, needs to be sent out. So yeah, because of that, I've wanted to make a Greyhound Graphgan. Say that 5 times fast. And a few years ago, a hobby reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to design some patterns for them, and I said, yeah, sure, that sounds good. So I sent them 4 different dog themed Graphgan designs. There was a Labrador, a little Dachshund, a French Bulldog, and a Greyhound. And then hobby got back to me and they were like, we love all of the designs except the Greyhound. And I was just like, no, that's the one design that I actually really wanted to make. So that was probably about 2.5 years ago now. And ever since then, I've been thinking I need to make a Greyhound Graphgan. And yeah, I'm finally getting around to it. I'm very excited about it. And the design itself is actually very similar to my moon and hare blanket that came out last year. It's got, you know, the moon on it and the same sort of flowery motifs, but this one has a few more colours in it, so a little bit more advanced. I've just finished the 7th row, and the next one, as we can see on the chart, is the first one with colour work. So that means I need to go and find my bobbins and my yarn holder and start winding up my yarn and getting organised for the colour work portion. I've been working on this on and off for the last couple of days, and here's where I'm at. I'm almost at row 40 and it's going pretty smoothly. I did make a little mistake the other day. Let me show you what I did. I was zoomed in on the pattern like this because I thought, you know, I only have to worry about doing the legs for this bit. And then I zoomed out to see how far away the moon was. And I realized that I was supposed to have started the tail about 3 rows earlier. So that was a bit annoying, but rather than undo any rows, because I will avoid doing that at all costs, I actually just went in and edited the pattern and made the tail a few rows shorter. So that was a quick and easy fix. But other than that, it's been going really well. I think either maybe later today, but probably tomorrow, I'm going to be starting on the moon. So it's going to start getting a bit hectic with all the bobbins. Hopefully I do okay managing all of them. Where was I the last time I updated you? Was I just starting the moon? Or maybe I hadn't even started the moon, now that I think about it. Either way, I've made quite a bit of progress. I've almost finished this yellow leafy thing. And the reason that I've been working so fast is because I've actually been live streaming the last few days whilst I've been working, and it's helped so much with like staying concentrated. Because I'm using my phone to stream, it means that I can't like pick up my phone and scroll Instagram like I do quite often. Like I'll usually finish a row and then I'll be like, oh, let me just check my emails. And I'm getting close to this red flower here, and I'm going to change it before I get to it because I don't like it. I've looked at it again and it's way too like symmetrical and perfect. It just doesn't look right for a flower. So I've still got, I think, 15 rows before I get there. So I'm going to do a few more rows now, and then tomorrow morning I'll probably fix up that flower before I get to it. I am at exactly the halfway point now, and it's all going pretty good. I don't remember if I actually showed you this flower after I redesigned it, but this is what it looks like. I'm almost done with it, and I think it's a huge improvement on what I had before. I was a little bit concerned about this dark reddish colour when I first opened it. Like, I thought maybe it was a bit dark to go with the blue, but now that I've started working with it, I'm actually really happy with how it looks. I think it's all working up really nicely. I've used every single colour in the colour palette now, and yeah, I think they all look really nice together. Right, I don't know where I was the last time I updated you, but I am currently like halfway through the second flower. I'm on row 146. It's actually been like a couple of weeks since I last worked on this, but I woke up this morning very motivated to work on this again because we're moving house soon, and yesterday we got like a potential move-in date, which is in maybe like 2.5 weeks. So I want to get this done before we move, because I know if I pack this away into a box, it's going to be a long time before I unpack it. So if it's not done within the next 2 weeks, it's probably going to be a few months before it gets finished. So my plan for today is to just find like a really good audiobook and just get carried away with this blanket. I'd like to have at least this second flower done, if not more. So to finish this flower, I'm going to have to do 14 rows, which feels very doable. Although we are going out for the afternoon and I do need to walk the dog, so I've probably only got like a few hours. Maybe I'm being a bit optimistic. But either way, I'm gonna crack on. I've just finished 5 more rows, and that only took me like half an hour, which is pretty good. Seems like I'm working quite quickly, which I'm very happy with, but I do need to quickly take the dog out, so let's go and do that. Okay, we're back. I'm going to try and sneak in a couple more rows before we go out for lunch in about half an hour. Look at this. I just about managed to finish the second flower yesterday, and I just got to the front legs as well, which makes me feel like I'm nearly done, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. So I'm on row 160. And there's 240 rows, so yeah, still plenty of rows to go. So I'm thinking today I'd like to get this yellow bit finished. And that's almost 20 rows, so more than yesterday, but I don't have anything to do today, so should be able to do it. Spoiler alert, that is not what happened. I did work on it for a little bit, but then the iPad died. I went to go and put it on charge, and I went to go and do something else whilst it was charging, and just never got back to crocheting. So I'm only on the very first row of the yellow leaves, but it's Monday morning and I feel good about the fact that this blanket is going to be done by Friday. I am getting to a point where I have so many yarns attached and I need to add even more. So this is like completely full at this point, and I need to add, I think, 3 more in this next bit that I'm doing. As you can see, it's getting very, very hectic. I was just working on the blanket like this in my lap, and I looked up at my desk and oh my word, look at the mess. There's just yarn and bobbins everywhere. I'm usually so good at like keeping it all neat and tidy and organized and not letting this happen, but I've just got a bit carried away trying to finish this yellow section, which I'm still not done with. So I'm going to finish this row that I'm on now, and then I'm going to call it a day, and then there's just 3 rows left. So I'm on row 176 now. I haven't done as much as I have wanted to today. But the thing is, the section with those yellow leaves is really fiddly. There's so many color changes. It's just slowing me down a lot more than I thought it would. And that's why I haven't got much done. But after that, it's going to be really smooth sailing. And I think I'm really going to fly through the last 60 rows of the blanket. At least I hope I will. I was going to say that tomorrow I'm hoping to have the moon done, but I think I need to stop setting goals like that because I'm not reaching them and then I just feel disappointed. I wish I could tell you that today is Friday and that I'm finishing this exactly when I planned to, but Friday has come and gone twice. Things didn't quite go to plan. I actually started working on this other project, which is a little bit different to what I normally do, but I'm having a lot of fun with it and it's been taking up a bit more of my time. So I've just been doing like the odd row here and there. So I have made progress, just a lot slower than what I planned. And the dog isn't completely done. I've still got to finish off the legs. There's about 10 rows left on there, and then there's like 10 rows of the dark blue, and then it'll be done. So it won't take too much longer. And then I've got to deal with all of the ends, which is going to take a little bit of time, but I actually don't mind weaving in the ends that much. I know some people really hate it, but it's okay. I'm getting really close to finishing this. There's only about 5-6 rows left, I think, but my arm has been hurting so much over the last few days from crocheting too much, so I'm gonna take a break from it and I'm gonna start weaving in some of these ends. Let me try and show you how many there are. Yeah, there's quite a lot, so getting started on this today is probably a good idea. Ta-da! It's finished. I don't know how well you can see it and how well it's in the frame, but I finished weaving in the ends about 10 minutes ago. No, not 10 minutes ago, about an hour ago. And yeah, as you might be able to tell, slight location change. We got the keys to our new house yesterday, and I figured it just made sense to bring it here to block it because there's no furniture. I usually, at the old house, I usually have to move like the sofa to the edge of the room in order to lay a blanket out and block it, but as the house is currently empty, it's nice and easy to do. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And I always get asked how I block my blankets, and this is how I do it. I just lay it out and gently steam it. I tend to find that the blankets don't need a ton of blocking, but it is nice to just do a little bit and make those stitches lie a bit flatter. I then brought the blanket downstairs where the lighting was a bit better to take some more photos. And this pattern is now ready for testing, so if you're interested in being a pattern tester for this, check the description for a sign up link below.